This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. Hello, everyone.
What's going on?
Good morning to you all. Thank you.
So random.
It is random every day. Now, a lot of you, it was a big day yesterday. We're talking about yesterday's January 6th hearing, and we're going to just talk about it and take it apart. It focused on former President Trump and his responsibility for the riot at the Capitol. Now, one of the men to testify was a Trump supporter from Ohio, just a normal guy. He described himself as, quote, nothing but a family man and a working man. He says he was upset by President Trump's claim that the election was stolen. Here's what he said about why he decided to come to D.C. and to the Capitol and ended up on Capitol grounds.
So why did you decide to march to the Capitol?
Basically, the president, got everybody riled up, told everybody to head on down. So we basically were just following what he said.
That man pleaded guilty last month, and he faces up to a year in prison. So what do you all think? After hearing that testimony, does this prove our former president led these people, and is Trump responsible for what happened? Talk to me, Lindsay.
I mean, I think they did a good job laying everything out. I think there was something that was brought up with text messages between Brad Pascal and Katrina Pearson, who both work for Trump, with Brad saying, listen, I didn't mean for this to, I'm paraphrasing, but I didn't mean for this to lead to deaths. And so that's problematic. It's actually two advisors saying somebody's killed, this is on our hands, and Katrina's disagreeing with him. But that means someone is acknowledging it. And so I think that this is definitely damning. But I also am always racking my brain about when people are going to choose to take responsibility for their own actions, like actually storming in and breaking windows, like actually leaving somebody dead, like actually hurting people and police officers. Like, Trump was not the one to step foot in there. So I know the connection exists between what he was saying and what he was doing intentionally, and they're trying to prove that. But the actual people that, and the more than 800 people that have been arrested, I think are intentionally getting arrested and in trouble early, because these are people who actually committed the crime.
And let me ask you a question, that's fair, but this guy, Ayers, he's not a Proud Boy or an Oath Keeper. He didn't come in camo. He came in and walked in because Trump said the election was stolen, right? And he said, I'll be with you, I'll march. There was even a draft tweet that we found during this testimony that he was going to put out earlier. This is Trump saying, I'll be making a big speech at 10 a.m. on January 6th at the Ellipse. Please arrive. Massive crowds expected. March to the Capitol afterwards. Stop the steal. So that was found in his archives. So he was going to put that out before. If I'm a regular guy, I think my country's been stolen. I've been, as he said, somewhat brainwashed by social media. And my president says, I'll meet you there, stop the steal, and I go just to show up without weapons or anything. Is that really all me, or is that coming at all responsibility for inciting that?
Well, I definitely think there's a connection. Like I said, I think this day specifically has been very damning for President Trump, given all the meetings, given those text messages between two of his staffers. But I also want to make sure that we're looking at the personal responsibility that it takes for someone to step foot on Capitol grounds and leave people hurt.
Mm-hmm. And they're being held responsible for that, a lot of them, for seditious conspiracy. Jeff, what do you think?
I think it's, you could influence persons so much, right? It's ultimately their actions what lead them to what they do, right? You didn't put the son and Sam's dog in jail because he told them to kill people. He did that action. You could blame it on whoever you want. You're the person who went in there. That interpretation of that tweet that we just read, I'm not trying to back Trump. I'm just being realistic. You can interpret that any way you want. That could mean, hey, we're all going to meet and have a barbecue, or we're going to go storm the Capitol and with guns. Like, your interpretation of what that is up to you. I don't know if it necessarily points fingers in this case at President Trump with a guilty verdict. I
guess what I'm saying too, and I hear what you guys are saying, they have autonomy, they can decide. But after years and years of saying, follow me, follow me, follow me, sort of a personality of a cult, which we saw, the rallies, the idea of it's Trump or nothing, right? And then to say the election was stolen from under me, they thought they were doing their patriotic duty in some respects and were brainwashed by the leader of the free country trying to stop a peaceful transfer of power. Does he not hold responsibility for yelling fire in a theater? People might run, but someone who's yelled fire incited it.
So the Manson family's not responsible for murdering and stabbing Sharon Tate?
Charles Manson never killed anyone. He went to jail, though.
But so did the other people. people.
Right, but he also went to jail.
But I'm saying this guy's trying to get off on a technicality saying, listen, he told me to do it. If he would have told me to back off, I would have backed off. Listen, you're a grown man. First of all, shave, okay, dude? Like, get real. This guy's a joke, okay? I understand people want Trump in jail. That's fine. This guy's a nerd, and he doesn't know how to take responsibility for himself. And that's just the bottom line. Let's talk serious.
I think what Jeff's trying to articulate is the intention.
That wasn't articulate?
No. I think because you're saying he's a nerd and everything, and I agree with those things. But what is really there
You're a grown man.
is the fact that this guy is now shaking the police officer's hand and doing things that we're going to discuss further into this segment that are just performative, because we're talking about a man, Stephen Ayers, that had lost his house, that had lost his job.
Exactly.
Right? So what else are you going to do? There's no other path for you forward unless you just want to continue downhill. So you must apologize.
Of course he's going to apologize, and he did. He went up and he hugged some of the officers.
You must act like he is acting if you're called to this hearing in front of the entire world
But you guys aren't blaming at the very top the person who keeps saying this was stolen.
I see what you're saying, because you speak for the American public. No one wants to listen to us talk, right? Because all they want to hear is, how do we get Trump in jail?
But
nobody cares about
you want to see Trump in jail?
But that's what I just told you that you kind of ran past. If you're bringing Trump into court, forget all these people, forget all the testimony that we talk every day, okay? Forget all those people. They should go to jail for going to the Capitol, storming on their own merit. Go to jail. Don't confuse what I'm saying. They should go to jail. However, all of Trump's tweets, what he told them people to do, is up for opinion. It's hearsay. How do you decipher what he was saying in those messages? In the court of law, Tori, and that's where you famously
shine.
I guess so. I couldn't find the word. In the court of law, is he going to be convicted under his peers of 14 people, unbiased, right, on, hey, I can interpret this on how he told people to go storm the Capitol. Just look at that, of Trump in a court of law. Do you believe he'd be found guilty just based on the tweets?
Also, there's a specific set of things that have to be proven for the Department of Justice in order to convict President Trump. That's what this investigation is about. It's like laying it on a platter. But I think what you're saying is that if it is not proven and we don't have a specific thing that aligns Trump exactly with his actions, saying that this tweet in these words incited this man, then it will be a failed attempt, and then we already impeached him twice.
I feel like
this is the third.
But did you not hear what I'm saying?
I do hear what you're saying. They should be in jail, and Trump, I can't say for certain shouldn't be, because he didn't riot.
I'm saying you really abide by the Constitution and things like that. And people, like I used that word yesterday, or used that example yesterday, when people have a murder charge, they know this person did it. Everyone knows this person did it. But if they don't have a body in the court of law, it's hard to prove that. It's hard to prove that Trump incited these people to go storm the Capitol.
And that's why I'm watching these hearings so closely, and what I'm seeing is an organized, premeditated, deliberate big lie to say, if I lose, it's rigged. And when he tells his people it's rigged, and then he tells people, the Secret Service, I know they're armed, let them in, let them pass the metal detectors, they're my people, they're not here to hurt me, that's lining up dot to dot that he's inciting. And remember, he was testified that he grabbed for the steering wheel to take the limo to the Capitol so he could be there. He reached for the throat of his Secret Service agent because he couldn't be there. All these are linking up that he had planned this. There were meetings. His lawyers tried to stop it. Brad Parscale is like, it's on his hands. I don't see how I see it,
how much
and you
is
don't.
Here, like, again, Tori, if this is a court of law, I totally see your side, and so does America. They want Trump in jail, and I get that.
But why don't you want Trump in jail?
I didn't say I don't want him in jail. Don't you dare put that on me.
But why
don't you ever say that?
Want is Trump in jail?
I'm saying in the court of law. You're about due process. Don't argue with me about due process when it works for you, and now it's not on your side, and you're telling me I'm for Trump. Don't paint that picture of me. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I get enough crap from people outside because of the color of my skin and what people believe I stand for and what people judge me for. I don't support Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter. Don't put that on me.
I'm not. I'm sincerely asking why you think you aren't convinced, and I'm asking this, or why you think we all just want Trump in jail without seeing that this is an actual case.
Can I just add that the next hearing is the one that's going to prove exactly or talk about what he did in the moments that the insurrection was happening. And so I think that Jeff has been watching these hearings closely, like you have, like I have. And so each step, yes, is getting more damning, but we're waiting until the hearings are complete to see all the details that connect every single dot.
I hear you. I just think it trivializes it to say, I just want to see Trump in jail, when what I want to see is responsibility for a possible coup. And that's a big deal to me. I really believe that.
All right. Well, I just want a fair judgment, right?
Fair.
And without being judged with something else. You say one thing just because you're trying to see both sides, and all of a sudden you're a racist, you're a Trumper, you're this or that. What you're painting, Tori, is exactly what people write in, exactly what people DM me, and exactly what people say to me. So watch what you say, because people, you know you're grabbing the public on that side, because that's all people do. They don't want to look at facts. They just want to throw names and label people, and that's what we do in America right now.
I'm looking at every fact
So when
in the
people feel like
hearings.
they're losing the conversation, throw a label. You know what? You must be racist. That's what the problem is.
All I said was why you don't want Trump to go to jail, why you don't want
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You kept saying all you want, so I simply asked you that back. I didn't call you any names.
I just, listen, whatever. We'll talk about Trump tomorrow, and I'll look like a jerk again.
All right, we'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
The point, we could leave it. I'm just saying, don't you see the point of the conversation I'm trying to make is in the court of law, Tori, would he be found guilty? And then you bring it back to like, I'm a Trump supporter.
No,
you
I
can't.
don't. I just said,
I just
why
don't. I
don't
don't
you?
like. I don't like that. I don't like that rhetoric. I don't like that even you're leaning there. I don't think Tori went there, but I just don't like the rhetoric of someone saying, as soon as you take the side of anything, whether it be anything racial, whether it be trans, whatever it is political, as soon as you lean towards one side, that means you're 100% not with us, and you're a racist, and you're this, and you're a Trumper, and you're all those other things. And those labels stick with you. Believe it or not, they stick with you, because I've lost jobs over those things. So I'm a little sensitive over some of these things that we talk about. Some of the people on this panel haven't, but I have, and I'll talk about them one day. But maybe that's why I'm a little more sensitive than other people.
And I didn't mean at all to go that far. I was simply asking, why don't you? And a lot of people agree with you, Jeff. It's just what this conversation's like in a lot of people's homes, I think.
Yeah.
I love you.
Read YouTube and see what people are saying.
The Jeff bashing is ridiculous. No, Jeff, that is what Fox says. Unreal. Jeff has a point despite what others believe.
This is the debate people are having, so I know
Jeff
it's
is
hard,
right
but-
about the side, says Brandy. No, Jeff, says Rolling. So it's back and forth. I just didn't mean to personally affect you in any way.
Well, maybe I took it a little personal. That's all. I just don't like having these debates and me being the guy on that side, because I'm not on that side. I'm in the middle. But it's very easy for people to point the fingers and stereotype and, label people. So that's what I'm more frustrated. I'm not frustrated with that, not Tori.
That's way too.
Warm in here. That's how it is in a lot of people's homes, and we're glad you guys are joining us and feeling safe enough to write us in. Continue doing so. Well, switching gears here, we're finally seeing video from inside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. Not an easy thing to see. A gunman killed 21 people. Let me tell you, it's going to cause a lot of outrage, and it already is, at the police response. Now, a warning, I mean this to our viewers, these images are disturbing, and you can hear gunshots if that's triggering. The video shows police showing up within 3 minutes of the gunman entering the school. But after taking fire, the police are seen retreating, running back down the hallway, where they essentially then waited for the next 70 minutes. Also caught on video is police restraining a fellow deputy who wanted to storm the room. He is a father of one of the children that was killed. The video also shows that an officer used hand sanitizer while waiting. The officers also were checking their phones. So how are the parents of the victims taking this? That's hard to see. The phone one I hadn't seen. Sorry. Well, there's a lot of outrage, but some parents are relieved that they're at least getting some transparency, while others are upset the video was released without being first able to see it. I don't know why the phone thing hit me, but what are they doing? 40% of their budget in Uvalde goes to the police.
And I think it's one thing to hear about this and another thing to see it. And so now we're seeing, we've been racking our brains for like 2 months about why it took almost 80 minutes for police to act. And now we have proof and not press conferences about what exactly they were doing, like getting hand sanitizer or having all the equipment they needed to save lives and just standing there. And there are a lot of parents that are upset because they wanted to see this video first, but it also was reopening those wounds of trying to figure out why your children weren't saved and knowing that there's no real reason. I think it was a failure to the children and to the parents of Uvalde, and just, you know, it's disheartening and sad to even hear those gunshots. This morning when I watched it, those gunshots are children dying. And so I just, you know, it's tough to continue to hear about this, but now we have real hard evidence that they failed miserably.
Yeah, good guys with guns. What if your kid was in this school? What would you do?
First of all, I want to apologize for getting a little worked up.
Me too. I love you very much.
I'm not worked up at you. I'm worked up at the country and these labeling things, so I love you.
I love you. I appreciate
But I am about to get worked up about this.
I know,
okay?
feel free.
And when I saw this video, they knew what happened right away. They saw this video hours after what happened, right? And then they have to do this press conference knowing their officers were sanitizing their hands, looking at their cell phones while a live shooter is down the hallway and you're checking your cell phone. These guys are going to have some serious issues moving forward because there is a thing called survivor's remorse. And after seeing these videos and all the children die and all the families that were affected in their family, and they're checking their cell phones when they have the proper tools, the guns, the shields, the men, to go in there and get one shooter, and you're sanitizing your hands and checking your cell phones. Listen, I don't know if you believe in the up above, but there's something else coming for these men.
I hear that. We'll be right back.
The sound of a car starting. We don't think much of it until one day we go to start the engine and nothing happens, making us feel, well, just like this. And if you're anything like me, this only happens when you're running late in the dead of winter. But for Verify viewers Mia and Julia, they're wondering if they should be concerned about dead batteries in the summer. So let's verify. Is the summer weather worse for car batteries than winter? Our sources are AAA, Jiffy Lube of Southern California, and Firestone. AAA says heat is the #1 culprit of battery failure. It estimates drivers in the coldest parts of the U.S. will need to replace their batteries about every 5 years, but batteries in the warmest parts of the country will need replacement after about 3.5 years. Jiffy Lube says heat is particularly tough on batteries because it can cause battery fluid to evaporate, which can lessen its ability to hold the charge over time. Firestone explains the evaporating fluid can also speed up the corrosion process. So, yes, the summer weather is worse for car batteries than the winter. Since the damage happens slowly over time, your battery may not give out on you until months later, at the most inopportune time. Firestone recommends parking in the shade or in a garage to help extend the life of your battery because it keeps your car cooler. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
DBL is all new every day. Switching gears completely in the show, he was launched into the big screen as the lovable preteen who played for the Chicago Cubs, and then he became the guy who initiated the pact with his friends on American Pie. And earlier we spoke with Thomas Ian Nicholas.
I was listening to your song 1999, which we're going to get to later. That had a lot of nostalgia. And speaking of that, you were just 12 years old when you filmed Rookie of the Year. I'm from Chicago. I always see Rowan Gardner jerseys all the time when I go to Wrigley Field. That's got to make you feel so cool. I want to know what you did with yours. And what was it like as a kid? Because we're only 2 years apart. I wanted to be you. I wanted to be in Wrigley Field throwing that ball around.
I've had the honor of going back to Wrigley Field once a year since 2008.
Wow.
To throw out the ceremonial first pitch, sing the 7th inning stretch. And for years, I would get the jersey with just my last name, with Nicholas. And then I realized how much people really still love the movie, so I started getting them to put Rowan Gardner on the back. And every year, I auction them off to raise money for whatever cause I'm supporting that year.
That's
like
super
your
cool.
dream.
Yeah, that is your dream.
That's your dream.
Him running around Wrigley Field was like every kid's dream in Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Chicago too, but I was at Comiskey.
Erica, do we not need to call the elephant in the room? Does he not look like your husband?
Yeah, you do look like
want you to be my husband. You just like actually look
You
like
guys
my
are twins.
It's weird.
You look just like Anthony.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, and now I feel creepy. So you went on to film American Pie at 18 years old. So what were your first thoughts when you read the script?
I mean, when I got the script, it wasn't called American Pie. It wasn't even called East Great Falls High. It was called the untitled teen sex comedy that you can shoot for under $10 million that audiences will love but studios will hate.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That makes sense.
Sign me
No,
up.
for real, that was on the first page of the script.
That was the title of the script on the cover sheet.
Okay, so why did you
Clever.
decide to take part in it? Like, what kept you on it?
Oh, I first saw that, read the opening scene, which was different. It wasn't Jason Biggs and him and his television. It was Kevin and Vicky, and it was a similar thing happening with some instructions. And I was like, oh my gosh! I threw the script in the trash, and I said, why are you sending me this NC-17?
Right.
I don't do this type of movie. It was only after when they said they really wanted to see me, can you please read the whole script? I realized there was a lot more heart to it, especially for my character. And I thought it was very brilliantly written. So I auditioned for it. And here we are, 23 years later.
I would say in our age group, every single person saw American
It's
Pie.
our John Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
It's our John Hughes film.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
1000%. Okay, but we have to talk about the fact that you're also a musician and you got the coolest like band room behind you.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. And then also
Well, this is Bowling for Soup studio.
What?
I'm here in Dallas. This is Jarrett Reddick's studio. We've got an event tonight where we're going to be watching Rookie of the Year for his podcast, Jarrett Goes to the Movies, with a live audience at Lava Cantina.
Dude.
So I'm here in Jarrett's studio where I recorded 1999.
That is so awesome.
So cool. Okay, so we got to talk about it. So you've got a new song about American Pie. It's called 1999. It's a parody of the Bowling for Soup song 1985. We're going to take a listen. Here we go.
Jim stuck on second base till apple pie replaced. Paul Finch is so refined. Osler lacrosse guy. Stifler's feeling frail from the pale ale. Vicky wants I love you.
And that's the clean version. It's so good. You guys have to listen to the whole thing. So here's the thing. You actually wrote this song with Jarrett, who you were just talking about, from Bowling for Soup. Clearly, you're in their studio now. We know. What was it like, though, doing a parody song with the band you're parodying?
Yeah.
I might be the only artist that has gotten that opportunity. And to be honest, we did a screening event for his podcast for American Pie back in December. We became instant best friends, just clicked. And it was actually Jarrett's idea. We were playing a show after the podcast. He started playing 1985. He goes, we should sing lyrics about American Pie. And now here we are. He sparked the idea.
What does that feel like? Like, is it being a rock star? How would you compare that to being an actor?
I mean, it's live versus, on a movie set, I get plenty of opportunities to do take after take. I mean, provided that we're not running out of time. But, a live feeling is totally different, especially being on stage with Bowling for Soup. I mean, these guys are selling out every show that they're playing. Wow. My band is not necessarily that popular, so this is a big opportunity for me.
That's amazing. I love that.
So cool. I love it so much. DBL Nation 1999 is streaming on all platforms right now, so you got to make sure that you download it. You can also follow Thomas on social. Look for the username TinBand. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back.
Rock out tonight, buddy.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Summer is underway, and that means hot temperatures across the nation, along with thunderstorms. So we asked Verify viewers to send us questions about storm safety tips they've learned over the years, and took them straight to these sources. First, were you ever told as a kid to count the seconds between the flash and the boom to figure out how far away a lightning strike is? So let's verify. Does each second really mean a storm is a mile away? We'll need to do some math here, but don't worry. The Weather Service says the sound of thunder takes 5 seconds to travel 1 mile. So if you see a lightning strike and it takes 5 seconds to hear thunder, then the lightning is 1 mile away. If it takes 10 seconds, then the strike was 2 miles away. So no, each second between lightning and thunder does not mean the lightning is 1 mile away. It's actually 1 mile for every 5 seconds. And regardless, our experts say if you can hear the thunder, then it's time to head indoors.
It's kind of the storm's warning shot sometimes that, hey, this is what's coming.
All right, let's say the storm looked and sounded really close. Several Verify viewers asked us, will lightning always strike the highest point? So let's verify. Generally, our experts say lightning will strike the tallest point, but it depends on what's nearby. If you're next to a giant building with a sophisticated lightning rod system, then that'll probably get hit. If you're standing next to a single tree in an empty field, then you may be more at risk. This is because lightning is always looking for the least resistant path to the ground, which could mean hitting a shorter object or even the ground itself. Since there's no way to predict this ahead of time, it's best to just head for safety when you see lightning. So, no, lightning does not always strike the highest point, and it's safest to just make sure you're not the tallest object during a storm. Okay, finally, let's say you counted the seconds and realized a storm is on the way, and you're now safely indoors. What now? Amanda asked us if you should avoid taking a bath or shower during a thunderstorm. This question may seem a little far-fetched, but our experts say there are rare cases where lightning can travel through metal piping. This can carry an electrical charge to anyone using water, whether it's in the shower, doing dishes, or even on the toilet.
There are 10 and 20 cases every year. I did look this up, 10 to 20 cases every year that people report being electrocuted while in their bathtub or inside their home. So while it's not likely, it's very possible. It could happen.
Even people with plastic piping should think twice about using water during a storm. The CDC says since water is a conductor of electricity, plastic pipes can also carry a charge. So yes, you should avoid taking a bath or shower during a thunderstorm. We answered even more of your questions about lightning and thunderstorms on our website, verifythis.com, and explained how lightning is even formed in the first place. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
This summer is looking to be the busiest travel season in years, and scammers are looking to cash in. So it's time for a Security Alert sponsored by LifeLock. Cyber criminals are setting up fake Wi-Fi networks with very convincing names to get your info. So be careful connecting at airports, cafes, and tourist spots. Also, if a deal sounds too good to be true, it most likely is. Beware of emails or social posts that offer a great deal and then redirect you to another website. If your information has been breached, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock makes it easy to help protect yourself from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-953-0836 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. We got some comments. Bobby says, I'm with Jeff. I hold my tongue a lot. Kayla says, yes, Tori. Marcy Ann says, Jeff has a good point. So let's just say we love each other. We love everyone here. That's what this show is about, those kind of discussions.
Love you.
Love you.
And I'm just caught in the middle.
Yeah, I